Is 2022 the year to invest in multifamily real estate? After the craziness of the past couple years, is now the right time? In this video, I'm going to share 5 reasons why you should invest in multifamily real estate in 2022. So make sure you hit the subscribe button right now so you don't miss more videos about building wealth through multifamily real estate. I'm Seth Ferguson. Let's get right into it and talk about multifamily in 2022. 2021 was a crazy year. We had new variants, we had new economic turmoil, and we also had a very hot real estate market. But enough about looking in the past. Let's look ahead to the future in 2022. And the first reason why you should invest in multifamily real estate in 2022 is inflation. Inflation is a hot topic right now, and for good reason. The inflation rate in 2021 hit 6.8% in the US, which is absolutely nuts, which is far more than we've seen for a long time. The last time inflation grew this rapidly was 1982. I wasn't even born yet. We've been seeing very low inflation rate for a very long time, and this is really the first time in recent memory or even living memory that we've seen inflation this crazy. This is exactly why you should be investing in multifamily real estate. You're leaving your money in the bank. Cash is trash right now. Cash has always been trash, but especially when we're almost at 7% inflation, if your money's not bringing in over 7%, you are losing money. Your money in your savings account, you are losing huge. Money in a guaranteed income certificate, you are losing. In your typical traditional investments that are bringing in poor cash flow, poor yield, your money is going there to die at 7%. That is absolutely nuts. If your investments are bringing you 5% a year, well, guess what? You are actually paying to lose money, which is just the fact of the matter, the way it is right now. And real estate is a natural hedge against inflation. Rents will keep pace as inflation moves up. Prices will keep pace as well. This has been seen time and time again whenever we have periods of inflation. And real estate is a cyclical type of investment. What happened before will happen again. We always look to the past to look at future performance. If I'm investing my money right now, I'm not putting it in the bank. Cash is absolute trash. You have to have an investment where the cash flow is strong, the yield is strong, so you can actually keep pace and exceed where inflation is going. So inflation, huge topic. I think it's going to be a big topic for at least the next couple years. We have printed so much money and injected it into the economy. This is going to have a long-term impact, at least for the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years. The second reason why you need to invest in multifamily real estate in 2022 is immigration. Immigration is a huge driving force in real estate. Let's take a look at some projections for the US population. So from today to the year 2060, the US population is projected to grow 79 million people. That is a huge amount of people. And 46.4 million of those people are not coming from the United States, they're coming from elsewhere. This is a huge chunk of the projected population growth coming from immigration. We are drawing in people from all over the world who want to come live in North America, in the United States. In this example, we can run another video with Canadian numbers. The growth is just being fueled heavily by immigration. The reason? We're not making enough babies as it is right now in North America. So people are coming in and we need that immigration to fuel our economy. So when we take a look at immigration, where are all these people going to live? If you are coming from a different country, you're not buying a house most often when you first get here, you are renting. What's that going to do to the rental market? And then when we take a look at not only immigration coming in from other countries, when we look at interstate migration, we have people fleeing the coast right now to escape poor tax policies. Where are they moving to? Where the jobs are, where you have good tax policies, where they're not going to be paying half their paycheck in taxes. So depending on the markets you're looking in, you can take advantage not only of emigration from other countries, but also interstate migration, people fleeing the coast and moving to states where the jobs are, where the big growth is happening, and where they're not going to sacrifice a good chunk of their paycheck just to pay the government. So when we look at the long-term implications of immigration, this is going to fuel and add fire to the multifamily real estate sector. Huge rental demand coming in from these immigrants, huge rental demand coming in from interstate migration. When somebody's moving across the country, are they going to buy a house right away? Well, some will, but most won't. They will rent, see if it works out for them. Either way, this huge number, 46.4 million immigrants coming in. Huge demand for rental real estate. And that leads me to reason number 3, supply. And this kind of ties into number 2 with immigration. We have a housing crisis right now. You know how many units short we are when it comes to rental housing, purpose-built rentals? 7 million units short. That is a whole lot of units. We could build for a very long time and still have a deficit when it comes to units that we need online. So what is this supply issue doing? Well, it's pushing up rents right now because there is so much demand for the rental product. The median rent went up in the United States 13.8% in 2021. This just shows you how bad this housing crisis is. People are fighting over rental units. There just isn't enough supply. So when we're looking long term, we take the current housing crisis, and I am calling it a housing crisis. When we take the current crisis with this huge upward pressure on rents and then a downward pressure on vacancy, vacancy rate is incredibly low. And then we add this is like adding the turbo, the nitro to your engine, and adding 46.4 million people into an already bad situation where we have a huge shortage of supply. Like I said, we have a shortage of 7 million units. What is this going to do to multifamily, to the multifamily space? The demand is already there, but is only going to get worse or better, whichever side of the equation you are on. But if you own multifamily, if you're buying multifamily, you're definitely in the better category because your product, your asset will be in higher and higher demand as time goes on. So is now the right time to get into multifamily? I would say yes, because we're just at the start. If you think the problem is bad right now with the supply issue, it's only going to get worse. So the whiteboard's getting a little bit messy, so let's move on to number 4. We have interest rates. This is a big reason why you should invest in multifamily real estate in 2022. We are enjoying the cheapest interest rate mankind has ever seen in history. So right now, you can borrow money at sub 3%, sub 4%, depending on the type of asset and all of that kind of stuff. The cheapest money people have ever seen. You better take advantage of it. Who knows what's going to happen in the future? We have some people of the opinion that interest rates are going up. Other people are forecasting interest rates are actually going to go down even more. Who knows what is going to happen? I don't have a crystal ball that works. If you have one, I'll buy it from you for $1 billion and we will make a killing. But until that happens, we don't know what's going to happen in the future. We can only deal with what we know to be true today. And what we know to be true today is that we can borrow money at this cheapest rate we have ever been able to. This is absolutely insane. So if you are able to buy a high quality asset with all these other drivers pushing it, pushing the prices up, compressing the cap rates, why wouldn't you lock it in at the cheapest rate you have ever been able to? So right now you could get a 10-year term on your loan. You are locking in that rate for 10 years. What is going to happen to that asset? Well, we have immigration. That's going to be a huge driver. We have a supply issue, a housing crisis. We have inflation at work. So inflation is going to inflate away that debt, but we're already borrowing it at the cheapest rate possible. So to me, this is a great opportunity. We can borrow money at sub 3%, sub 4%, depending on the asset and some other factors. But then as we hold the asset, inflation at almost 7% is going to eat away at that debt. that debt is going to become more and more irrelevant as inflation takes hold and the asset of the price becomes inflated, as well as rents, because they are going to keep pace with inflation, because real estate is a natural hedge against inflation. That happened before and it's going to happen again. So take advantage of today's absolutely insane interest rate environment and borrow money at the cheapest you have ever been able to and acquire a high quality asset. Now, this is going to bring me to point number 5. And before we get on to point number 5, I just want to invite you to the Multifamily Conference, May 14th and 15th, 2022 in Toronto. We've got Kevin O'Leary, we've got Joe Fairless, he controls over $1 billion of multifamily real estate, Pierre-Paul Turgeon, Joel Block, a whole bunch of high quality, top-notch speakers. Check it out at multifamilyconference.ca. I would love to see you there. And so reason number 5 is cash flow. Now, I kind of teased it up here with number 4, but cash flow is hugely important. What's happening now with investors? They are chasing yield, and the yield just isn't there. They are chasing yield because we have to deal with 6.8% inflation. That is absolutely nuts. So where else can you get an asset with incredibly strong cash flow, but also the forced appreciation aspect that is also going to be a hedge against inflation? Multifamily real estate is the asset to acquire to tick all of those boxes. Right now we have people, the single family home market, the prices have been driven up so much. We have people who a couple years ago could buy a house if they wanted to. Now they are becoming renters by necessity. They just can't afford a home. They have good solid jobs, well-paying jobs, but they cannot qualify for a loan to purchase their own home. So now these people are gravitating over to the rental market. You have high quality tenants, you have a high quality asset, and you also have the strong cash flow. Where else can you get the cash flow, the forced appreciation, and the hedge against inflation? Multifamily is the best asset out there for that. We have all sorts of different reasons why multifamily has such strong cash flow. We have economies of scale. We're dealing with hundreds of units on the same site when they're not spread out. I have a whole bunch of other videos you guys can check out on the channel covering specific segments of the multifamily market. But cash flow right now, investors are chasing yield, and multifamily is delivering on that like no other asset can deliver. So is 2022 the right year to invest in multifamily real estate? Well, I am saying yes. We have all these different drivers working. We have inflation to think about, strong immigration, a housing crisis, 7 million units short right now. We have incredibly low interest rates and strong cash flow. We have the yield here with multifamily real estate. So if you are interested in learning more about investing in multifamily real estate, join my free Facebook group, link down right below. Great group of people who are always happy to help out. And if you like this video, if you found this useful, hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know what you think. What are your predictions for 2022? Should you be investing in multifamily real estate? And until next time, happy investing.